Flyover Politic Podcast, the show for normal Americans. From his undisclosed bunker, here's your host, Tony Reed.
Ran them roads like we own the land. Two dumb kids with the master plan. Laughing at danger, never thought about fate at all. But it put our lives on different lines. Swear I seen it in your eyes when we joked about never coming home. Now your boots fall quiet in the places I walk alone. So I sit right here in our old spot. Swear I feel you here, but I know you're not. I drink to the night, holding heavy and high, wishing you're somewhere under the same old sky. Your name still hangs in my heart like a dog tag. And the truth hits hard in that folded flag. Your jacket's still hanging on the back of that chair. Smells like smoke in the life we share. You left with a promise you'd be back someday. God, why do you take the good ones away?
And welcome back to Flyover Politic Podcast. It is the 23rd of May, year of our Lord, 2026. That is Matt Best' Folded Flag, official music video. Won't play the whole thing because it makes me tear up. I will read this and try to get through it. It's very interesting. Sometimes things hit you and you don't even know why, but this one hit me. Therapist. What are your thoughts about Memorial Day? The hardest part is how normal the world keeps going. What hits you the hardest? How quiet their names get over time. Why do you usually isolate this weekend? Because pretending I'm okay takes more energy than being alone. What's one thing you feel would be better about this weekend if it was him here and not me? What are you feeling going into the weekend? Like everyone else moved on a long time ago. Memorial Day is supposed to cover everybody we lose. Gets confused with people. But I think that's because for vets it's totally different. And I may not have lost any of my men, and I may not have lost any close friends, but I lost people that I knew. And if you follow the show, there was a time I was marching along the Memorial Trail when I had some really bad mental health, and I would talk to a guy named, I'm not going to say his name. And for whatever reason, that one hit me harder than people that I knew, because I felt like I was responsible. So, as we're about to talk about a great legend dying, Memorial Day should be for us to reach out to the people that we know have lost people and give them our love. This time I'm doing it to my mom because my pops, the man that raised me, he's been on death's door for a while. And I saw a picture this morning at 3:30 in the morning of him in a bed, and I didn't recognize who that was. So soon he will pass, and Memorial Day will become something different for me again. So reach out to the people you love. If they lost somebody, just touch them. Say hey. Not have to talk about it. Just calling, just for a short time, will take their mind off it. Which brings us to Kyle Busch. My wife was a huge Kyle Busch fan, and 41-year-old man dying is bizarre. He had headaches, and they didn't really know what it was, but he's gone.
NASCAR driver Kyle Busch, 41 years old, has died suddenly today after what his family described as severe illness. One of the greatest racers of all time, a record 234 National Series wins. Busch had earlier dropped out of all activity this weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway, including the crown jewel, the Coca-Cola 600. His family later confirming that he was hospitalized.
This person probably doesn't know. This is probably the last autograph he ever signed. He was leaving Watkins Glen, I believe, was last week. And they were driving, and she's just wearing a Kyle Busch hat. And as he's driving his car and she's driving her car, he just signs it as he's driving down the road.
Fan Interactions, Part 1. Kyle Busch autographs a fan's hat during a traffic jam after a race.
Roll down your window, maybe she can't see.
Hey, what's up? How are you?
I freaking love y'all.
Give me your hat.
I love y'all. Oh my god. Oh my god.
She's going to cherish that. This is the 911 call.
Yes. Could I get an ambulance to come to set? W, Concord, North Carolina.
Say the street name one more time.
It's
And what's your name? And tell me exactly what's happened.
I've got an individual that's shortness of breath, very hot, thinks he's going to pass out, and is producing a little bit of blood, coughing up some blood.
Okay, and how old is this person? Male or female? And is he awake?
He is awake. He's awake. He's on the bathroom floor right now.
Okay.
So when you come in, if you could not make it, can you turn the sirens off?
Yeah, that's fine.
When you get here, and there's so when you come into the main entrance of the building, the closest way to get to him is if you go to the left, like you'll come in.
So, a lot of people are talking about an embolism. It happens with drivers because of all the concussions and things they go through. Everyone sport needs a villain. Kyle was a good one, and I think he mellowed. I mean, he was fucking brash.
I thought y'all were trolling in the DMs. I look it up. I type in Kyle Busch. Says he dies at 41. Are we dead ass? They took Kyle Busch.
My little brother Kyle Busch is gone, and I still don't know how to accept saying those words out loud. Back in 2015, that
Kurt.
Daytona crash almost killed him. Both of his legs were destroyed. Doctors thought his racing career might be over, and for a while Kyle could barely even walk. But in the end, God protected him and gave him another chance to live. People saw the wins after that, but they never saw the pain Kyle lived with every day. The surgeries, the rehab, the leg pain he carried for years, while still forcing himself back into race cars.
No one realized that Kyle Busch endured 3 severe ordeals in the week before his passing. Kyle Busch passed away from illness at the age of 41. The legendary racer claimed 2 Cup Series championships and dominated the NASCAR circuit. In his final week alive, he bore 3 devastating hardships alone that would have broken an ordinary person. First, he suffered from a persistent high fever and severe.
He knows
That's his last win. And they played this a lot, but it's very prescient.
Fifth time in his career.
All right. Yeah, baby. That's awesome.
You can tell he doesn't look like he's feeling good.
Did you feel like, when you're out there, you're just like, man, this is how I used to feel when I used to dominate these races all the time?
No. When Ross got the lead there, I felt like it was going to be a tough race to the finish of being able to see who could outdo who in traffic and keeping the right front tires on the trucks.
I'm not going to play because it's played overboard, but he said you never know when it's your last one. This is him 5 days
something
ago.
Already seemed off during Kyle Busch's final interview 5 days ago. After NASCAR suddenly confirmed the 41-year-old's death, people were shocked to discover there had already been many heartbreaking signs before he passed away.
He had called and said, I'm going to need a shot. They thought it was sinus problems. Somehow they captured this because Charlotte's... People are crying. And
so we have some huge breaking news.
And it is huge there. The Charlotte Motor Speedway put that up. But whether you like him or dislike him, this is badass.
If it wasn't for lap traffic, it wouldn't even have been a race. I don't know what y'all are whining about, but if you don't like that kind of racing, don't even watch.
I'm not surprised about anything. Congratulations.
5-point buffer. Do you fall back on that? Does it really stick in your mind at all?
It's pathetic to have to lean on insurance. My premiums are going to go up.
He dumped you intentionally.
Yeah, sure he did. Where's his paycheck come from, Ray?
Pure talent. That's about it. My pit crew did absolutely nothing to help me out tonight. My truck drove and these splitters are absolutely horrendous.
Kyle, how do you feel about the way you were penalized for what happened out there? Not a word from him.
Guy lived his life, man. There'll be nobody that will. I know, and people say this, but there'll be nobody that's like him. All right, there'll be nobody that's like him. It won't happen. He literally is the winningest guy of all time. Not in Cup, but when you add up all the wins he's done, the guy was a phenom. From the moment he went in, he was a phenom. And, I think he had to go back to Richard Childress, and it changed things because once he lost the M&Ms, man, it was tough. Him and Toyotas was what it was. And, God, it's just hard to believe. I woke up to that yesterday. Got to admit, I was a little affected by it. And he's got 2 young kids. A son who's 11 and a daughter, I think, 6 or 8. IFV baby. It's really sad. It's super sad. So, gonna move off depressing shit and play a few things here or there. I want to play this because this is how far our media is out. We're gonna do a big Libd and Hamas section today. TikTok is going to start going to a separate podcast because I got crowd struck like a motherfucker or copyright infringed like you wouldn't fucking believe because of the music. And I got one, it sends you a report, you can click it, and they just silenced it. But then that one with, this is Sparta, but it was Chuckles. Every time that played, Linkin Park put a copyright on just that one little bite. So I don't even know if it went live. I'm going to fix it. No music. Got it. This is Eugene Daniels. He says that we, the libs, need to focus on kitchen table issues, like transing the kids.
There is another takeaway, Eugene. They claim Republicans are just better at politics. Quote, at times it seems Democrats are trying to win arguments while Republicans are focused on winning elections. Democrats operate in an ecosystem defined by reason, even in cycles when the electorate is defined by rage. What should Democrats do with that?
They should be more comfortable with the idea of power. And this is something that Democrats have been saying. I've talked to Chuck about this in the past. The idea that at the end of the day, if you are not in office, you can't do anything. And when you talk about winning hearts and minds, that is very important. When you talk about issues that matter to marginalized people, that is very important. But you can do those things and still win elections so that you can actually change laws and not just worry about hearts and minds. When, the question about whether or not you should focus on identity politics, like Donald Trump only focuses on identity politics, right? It is the heart of the MAGA movement, right? That white people are being replaced as conspiracy.
Open borders for 4 years didn't help working Americans at all. When illegal immigrants were taking
identity politics, the difference is that Republicans also use that with the rage and they point it somewhere. Democrats don't do the same thing.
What fucking planet is that guy on? Like, seriously, dude? Are you for real? That's all the left has, identity politics. Saying we're not going to let you trans our kids is not identity politics. Saying that you let a bunch of fucking illegals come over and they rat-fucked our country, including terrorists, is not identity politics. It's facts. This is the majority, or the minority whip, Catherine Clark, defending Biden's open borders. I like starting the show with just crazy ass
open borders
shit.
for 4 years didn't help working Americans at all. When illegal immigrants were taking, jobs, and there were a lot of things that happened over the 4 years that working Americans felt totally neglected.
And those
wages fell. Real wages fell over a 4-year period.
So let's take immigration as an example, because we do need secure borders. President Biden got there, but it was very, very late.
When did he?
Oh, definitely in the end of his administration, he got there, but it was late. So we fundamentally agree. We need
20
secure
million
borders.
immigrants later.
We fundamentally agree you're a lying sack of shit. Nuts ignore all the Ilhan Omar immigration fraud. They're not covering any of it. Doesn't surprise me. They're going to let that shit just fucking fall. Maybe I should have put my slides in. That probably would have been a good idea, but I forgot to do it. Oh, fuck. What the fuck did I do? Hold on a second. Cancel. Main. There we go. We're in the wrong thing. That's probably something to do with it. But I think it's to the point now with politics, and I'm not just going to point to the fucking left. I'm going to point to the right. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody pays attention to the fact that, you're flipping on subjects left and right. You're not going to cover that shit. Because why would you? I mean, the reality is, as long as it's got a D or an R, most people don't give a fuck anymore because they're stupid. So one of the comments was, well, they just believe their fucking followers are dumb and they'll vote for them anyway. No, I think both sides are pretty fucking dumb. I mean, I won't vote for Marsha Blackburn. She's no shit about military needs. She didn't know shit about the TRICARE bullshit, and she's a piece of shit. This fucking Nazi motherfucker, that's what he'd be called if, if we had standards, but we don't. Dumb motherfucker didn't deserve to live. Far-left Democrat Senate candidate Graham Planner mocking a U.S. soldier was shot 4 times in Afghanistan and resurfaced Reddit comment. The post was made a Purple Heart recipient POC Ted Daniels after he took incoming fire during a 2012 class with the Taliban. Planner now deleted comment went on to say, at least his stupidity and fat-ass wheezing are available for all future information to witness and holding a temp. Poor marksmanship on the Taliban part is the only reason his mouth breather made it home. He managed to make every possible shitty decision possible when it came to small unit combat. This video never gets old. Dumb motherfucker didn't deserve to live. It's a real comment. What? And I cannot stress the fuck. I like that picture. I'm going to save that picture. I'm going to save that picture right now. Because it's a good picture. Bam. That says fucking everything. It says everything about you. I might sound like a liberal. People's responses you can consider, or you can expect. Let's see the courageous Democrat vet defend this one. Wow, the Democrats sure know how to pick them. Cheering for the death of an American service member. Grand Planner is the worst part. Worst of the worst, but Democrats only care about power. He's a Nazi. He's a Nazi. This is in Cambridge, and I think I'm going to find the fucking video. I forgot to move it forward. Forward. Where is it? It's under libs. Let me find this pink-haired nightmare of a woman that you probably have already seen. It's the same as the videos. Now it's shotgun or gunshot register. That was being trained on back when I was in the Mojave, and they could put it up on the top of a building, and they'll give you a direction and distance where somebody shot a weapon. Well, we don't need to do that because of black people.
I do not consent for my vulnerable neighbors in our welcome community sanctuary city to be at risk.
And to make sure we hear from neighbors more directly impacted than I am, I will also be sharing a recorded note from a Putnam Gardens resident. He's unable to be here, but feels that ShotSpotter surveillance puts him and his family at risk.
Listen.
En la última audiencia, los residentes hablaron abrumadoramente en contra de
Spanish.
¿Saben por qué? Porque las familias...
And this puts black and brown communities in Cambridge.
So yeah, we're not doing that. We're not going to do that because black people. That is so fucking racist. That's fucking racist, man. You're basically admitting black people are the only people shooting motherfuckers. Wouldn't that be racist if you were white? Conservative? And then they get into just unbelievable fucking tomfoolery that I didn't even know about. Maybe I covered, but I don't remember. What is that fucking picture? Why do I keep having this AOC picture? It's not even there. Get to HUD. We're going to get to Colbert in a second. Gotta cover Colbert. There we go. HUD cracks down on government-backed mortgages for illegal immigrants. That is not a typo. Biden's administration H-1B visa holders were buying houses with 97 to 100% financing. 97 would come from the FHA, with the rest coming from the state first-time buyer program. Zero money down. Thanks to the program, they were supposed to be helping low-income people. 100% financing. We basically did ninja loans again, but this time with non-U.S. citizen. Many home builders, such as Bloomfield Homes in Salina, Texas, offered access to FHA loans for H-1B visa holders through their preferred lender program. And guess what happened? They're all leaving. So now you have a housing crisis again because 250,000 motherfuckers a month are leaving because of immigration changes.
We're revoking every single one. That's what HUD Secretary Turner said. Biden's team approved FHA-backed mortgages for illegals from all over. And Turner said they're revoking every single one. What does that mean? This week, I started doing foreclosures on undocumented properties. I just left one. Pizza boxes open. Pizza was still there. All the food was still in the pantry. They grabbed whatever valuables they could, left everything else behind. These are foreclosures, so these are homes that were bought using FHA, guaranteed by the government for undocumented people. Last month, over 252,000 people were deported in Texas alone. So all of a sudden, we're starting to see the effects now.
Under the Biden administration, the Federal Housing Administration began insuring mortgages by private lenders to non-citizens. These loans are intended for low-income Americans, but instead, foreigners, people who are not even citizens, are getting them. Yes, non-citizens, even if they didn't have a steady income or collateral or good credit, have been walking into new homes by putting only 3.5%
or less, because they are allowed to. The more you dig the onion, what was Biden doing? He was taking care of everybody but you. How do Democrats support that? Governor Dick Face of California. Californians, if you're hitting the road this holiday weekend, be sure to avoid Chevron. Pro tip, unbranded gas comes with the same refineries, storage tanks, and pipelines, and it meets the same state standard to keep your engine running clean, even if it doesn't have a fancy logo on it. Sacramento policies did this. Now you pay more. Governor Newsom is crashing out because Chevron has been informing people that California taxes are the reason California is paying significant higher prices than everybody else. And here's the picture that made him crash the fuck out. Here's the reality, boys and girls. 70-cent taxes on some of these in some of these blue states. We did the Arizona $3.90, $7.60. What is that? Taxes. California, it's not Chevron. You should boycott. It's Democrat politicians, the one who make gas $2 higher here. Vote for change. Don't make a pro tip from a politician who hasn't driven himself anywhere since 2004. That's pretty good. Elizabeth, a liberal. Never forget Jack Smith held more than enough evidence to convict him for capital insurrection and illegal retention of classified documents. Trump knew he would be facing prison time because he had zero chance of beating Harris. He solicited the help of Elon Musk to steal the swing states. We are doing insurrection-y things over on the left because I was told just in 2020 that is insurrection-y. You cannot question elections. What are you doing? Post-Mormon of the Democratic failure, because you had a guy who was brain dead, and then you brought in a woman that nobody wanted. Chairman Ken Martin released an incomplete, unedited version of the 2024 election autopsy. Trump's transgender focus ad, Kamala's for they, them, seen as highly effective in damaging Harris, did not shift position in response. Report paints a dismal... let me pull this thing up. Oh, God, I fucking hate. It's not going to let me see it, is it? Oh, no, it's not going to let me see it. Let me go down to conclusions. Dean's going to happen 24. We didn't adequately lie about what we believe and pretend we're not being effective enough. DNC new releases 192-page 2024 autopsy. Does not mention Joe Biden's age as a factor of the party loss. I think this one was undone. Are you going to let me in? Yeah, this one I can go to. Sorry. It was behind the paywall. The new paywall thing I use, it'll let me, see the page, but it won't let me click out for some reason. Dismal picture. Democrats have lost ground since Obama era due to stagnation, failure to invest in state, local parties, and inability to project strength and unity. Criticized Biden White House for not adequately preparing and supporting Kamala Harris. No polling on her like. Jill Biden, poor defense against border czar label, which was what her job was. False overall Democratic effort for failing to effectively define and attack Trump, relying on assumption his negatives are baked in. Harris campaign criticized for taking too much for granted, over focus on suburbs, college, educated voters, neglecting rural areas, and relying on not Trump rather than a firm message or clear defense. She couldn't have one. This right here sums up the left since 2016 and unfortunately our media. Hate Trump. That's all this is. Hate fucking Trump. That's all you got to do. Breakdown on how the Democratic Party died. I need a VP dumber than me. That was Obama. I need a VP dumber than me. That was Biden. I need a VP dumber than me. Boys need tampons. Yeah. Then we have this bullshit, and then we'll get to Colbert. Motherfucking New York Times filed a second lawsuit against the Defense Department, arguing that an interim press policy mandating the reporters be escorted at all times while on Pentagon grounds is unconstitutional. Latest file in the New York Times, while dressed up, looks like a constitutional challenge. It's nothing more than an attempt to remove the barriers to them getting their hands on classified information. They want to roam the halls of Pentagon freely without escort, a privilege they do not have in any other federal building. The department policy is completely lawful and narrowly designed to protect national security. Employees work in the Pentagon food court. This is Kirstenti Tarlapan from the New York Times. Employees working in the Pentagon food court are able to walk around the building unescorted. That's because they've had background checks, dick face. Also, while reporters have walked the building unescorted for decades, this administration has never offered any example resulting in leaked classified info or justified policy. I can hand you 4 million fucking articles during Trump's first term. You're bullshit. On to the last late show, late night, late whatever, with piece of shit, Stephen Colbert.
For everything you do, I'd like to swallow you. And every day I'm gonna blame you. And even if you justify every fucking bullshit lie, it only makes me want to break you. You pull me down and you crucify my name. You make me insane. It's broken now. Don't ever look my way. Don't even think I'm
Okay, we got the Colbert. We got the Colbert. So we already know 87% of everything he ever did was targeting conservatives. This is a total breakdown. Right jokes, 1655. Right joke percentage, 87%. Left jokes, 219. Left joke percentage, 11. Nonpartisan, 44, 2%. 2024, that was 2023. 2024, 2340 to 80. 2340 to 479, right to left. 2025, 2510 to 188. And 2026, 975 jokes and 48 to the left. When you break down by, they did a study on this. Somebody had a boring fucking life. Republican, it was not a current former president, vice president. There was also a wide discrepancy in how Colbert joked about other analog liberal and conservative targets. Republicans, 180 negative. Democrats, only 31 he ever talked about. Conservatives, 30. Liberals, 8. Fox News, 73. Newsmax, 2. CNN, 4. MSDNC, 1. Mike Johnson, 87. McCarthy, 78. Pelosi, 6. Jeffries, 3 because he's black, he's scared. Melania Trump, 100. Jill Biden, 2. Eric Trump, 84. Trump Jr., 56. Hunter Biden, 4. Clarence Thomas, 30 times. Alito, 29. Supreme Court conservative bloc, 7. Brett Kavanaugh, 5. You get the point. His whole fucking show, come mud, blood, shit, or the flood, was negative. Here's just 11 from his 11 Okay, Stephen Colbert's worst moments from 11 years. Against Trump. But right now, the election is too close to call and too terrifying to contemplate. The huge story is that Trump has outperformed expectations in early results. This one's a nail-biter, passport grabber. I feel like we're trying to avoid the apocalypse. You are the presidents, but are turning it into a real pricktator. That was in 2017. I guess you'll read the dates. May 2017. It turns out he's building out the ground-up bones of poor people because this budget cuts like the food stamps. Sir, from January 2018. They're not shithole countries. Donald Trump isn't their president. From November 2019, a snap in the air means we are heading into my favorite season because it's impeachment eve. This goes on. The Late Show echo chamber. My guest has helped us turn civil dispute into porn star and an existential threat to the Trump presidency. Michael Avanti. Yeah, he went to jail. Kamala Harris on 2019. What makes you happy? What does your hope come from? Thank you so much for being with us, Governor, and thank you for everything you're doing to keep our state safe. Cuomo. As someone who spent his life trying to push our nation forward, how does it feel for you to see so many voters returning to a person that I, for one, thought have been politically discredited even before his own party? Donald Trump. That was to Bernie Sanders. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, October 8th. So cheers. There you go. Taste the beautiful city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So let's bring it in, Coach, for one final pep talk to the voters that maybe haven't made up their minds. That was Tim Waltz. He's an all-star, February 4, 2025, reacting to W. Camus Bell saying Trump has one of the greatest resumes of racists in history. Liberal culture warriors. He brought every fucking person you could ever fucking think on, period. Variety. As Stephen Colbert pushed into politics hurt the late night format? Fuck yes! Nobody watches unless you're a libtard. Late night was never supposed to play a particular type of audience. Johnny Carson made fun of politicians, but mostly their public goofs, not their policies. Jay Leno rarely made politics, and David Letterman feuded with politicians, but not over what they did in Washington. In 2026, late night shows are a wholly different creation. These shows are built to be a vaudeville in the box of your living room, says Professor Dengnaga Young, a total libtard black person, who studied political satire and the media preferences of liberals and conservatives. He got a degree. He makes more money than you. That's not even a thing. They were a place to watch jugglers and clowns, funny people doing impressions. They're not made for this. Aaron 7 DiGucci. Wow, I didn't know that. You're telling me now for the first time. You are just now waking up to alienating half the country, drive one of your viewers. If the audience knows who you're voting for, you're not doing your job, Johnny Carson. I mean, literally, folks, get the fucking fuckity fuck with the fuck out of here. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I could play all the 2020 freakouts that he did, but I'm not going to waste your fucking time. The whole thing was him freaking the fuck out that we're going to lose, and then toasting because he was so into shots with the vax and all that shit. Then he did it. This shit right here sums it up perfectly. Look at this fucking shit. It's a total mystery why CNN personalities are so devastated that they're canceling the late show. It's all them. That's where they go. It's their echo chamber. Trump. And they prove every time that they're not a news agency. CNN covered it like 40 fucking times. This one. What is this one anyway? We will always stand with Stephen Colbert, Hakeem Jeffries. Will you? This is what he did in 2020 election to discredit Hunter Biden's laptop.
Bring it up on Hunter's left it down on a Tennessee stage. Rumors from Trump's rabbit left it don't put him back in his cage. Debunk claims of made up government black came from the Russians. Appealing to folks in QAnon, he won't disavow them. Let me die, pure Donald D's desperation plea. Hunter's laptop, laptop conspiracy. Got it from Matty B.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that an accident that you knew you were doing when you did an accident? Because, like, you knew that was an accident because you knew that it was true? Is that what we did? Okay, that's fucking crazy. I thought we don't do shit like that. And because he's such a pestilent fucking pussy-ass piece of fucking shit that at one time was actually non-biased, then he went with the fucking right-wing shit to get traction and leave some other fucking show. He decides to use this.
Peanuts is a powerful brand and corporation in and of itself. Anyone illegally using that music is going to have to pay through the nose. Lewis? Excuse me, Lewis.
Your reminder that Colbert lost network $40 million annually. Stephen Colbert thanks to CBS affiliates across the country for 11 years of Late Show with Stephen fucking Colbert. And I got more videos. It's just hard to get anything. Like nobody fucking
and corporation
paid
in and of itself.
Maybe okay.
Here's the band right now playing the same Peanuts.
Is this what he thinks is?
People are being sued for using without permission. Is that what he's doing?
No, I can't play it. He thanks his affiliates, which is fucking stupid. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
no,
fucking
I hope
stupid.
This doesn't cost CBS any money.
Yeah, I hope you just go the fuck away. Farewell and thank you, Stephen Colbert. Look at that. This is I grabbed this offline. Robert Reich. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Here's another fucking one from the dickhead piece of shit, Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen appeared on Stephen Colbert's show tonight, cooked Trump and his goons. I'm hearing support tonight for Stephen because you're the first guy in America lost his show because you got a president who can't take a joke, which everybody knows is not true. He was losing money. And so, of course, they bring on all the fucking losers, and the losers all fucking come out, and they do stupid fucking shit. So here's fucktard, Stephen.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen.
Thank you. Stephen, I'm here in support tonight for Stephen because you're the first guy in America who's lost his show because we got a president who can't take a joke.
I lump him him and all those conservative fucks that after 9/11 got there, my flag, my car, my dog, my truck, replies to this stupid shit. Wow, congratulations, you guys sure showed Trump. He was the comedian who couldn't make a joke. He lost his show because losing network millions of dollars. He intentionally pissed off half of the potential audience. He did. Jimmy Kimmel came on because he's close. He knows he's close because people are starting to get tired of the same fucking Trump jokes.
Everyone at our show, we want to say to everyone at your show, it has been a pleasure to work alongside you. I will be watching tomorrow night. I hope that those of you who watch our show will also tune in to CBS for the last time. Don't ever watch it again, but watch tomorrow night to wish Stephen and our friends at The Late Show a fond farewell. So, okay, now let's talk about the who forced them off the air.
Let's talk about the asshole that forced him off the air. All the liberal rags covered, of course. Wow, the sense of importance is nauseating. Would have been great advice after Letterman's last show. Already there, and I treat Jimmy Kimmel Live the same way. Newsflash, Jimmy Kimmel, we turned off fake news years ago. How much money does this loser cost the network each year? How much does he lose? Because he's a fucking piece of shit. He's a fucking piece of shit. He's a fucking piece of shit. Here's a fucking piece of shit. He's a fucking piece of shit. Here's some of the worst.
Mr. Trump, your presidency, I love your presidency. I call it disgrace the nation. You attract more skinheads than free Rogaine. You have more people marching against you than cancer. You talk like a sign language gorilla who got hit in the head. In fact, the only thing your mouth is good for is being Vladimir Putin's holster. Republicans can eat a How about that? You know what?
It's just 4 minutes. I'm just going to go longer.
Political points with your base at the expense of real human beings, you dick.
You dick.
All day yesterday, I was walking around proudly wearing my I voted sticker. Today, I wore my I am questioning my fundamental belief in the goodness of humanity sticker. I wish, you wish, so many of us wish this hadn't happened, but that is not for us to decide. This is a democracy. That's democracy with a capital duh.
Whenever they lose, they show what they really are. So here's some shit from his last show. This is the end. This is how they signed off.
Jon Stewart. Oh, John, do you know of any wise mentor figures I could talk to?
No, actually, Stephen, I'm here on behalf of Paramount. They wanted me to read this statement. They kind of have to do what they say because, you know, I'm not the one who got canceled for stealing printer cartridges.
That's not why I was canceled.
Quote, Paramount strongly believes in covering both sides of any black hole that is swallowing everything we know and love. Any coverage must also include the positive aspects of the insatiable emptiness. It's okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Why aren't you guys being pulled in too?
You know what? Actually, one of these holes opened at my show last year, but it went away after about 3 days.
Is that what's going to happen to me too?
At some point, this may come for all of our shows. But, Stephen, what's important to remember is tonight, it is going to eat you.
Always the fucking victim.
Folks, we have done over 1,800 of these shows. And most nights, I come out here and I talk to the audience beforehand. And tonight, I thought I'd talk to the audience in here and the audience out there at home. This show, I want you to know and you to know, has been a joy for us to do for you. In fact, we call this show the Joy Machine, all right? Lewis stole it from us, and we are currently in litigation right now. You better lawyer up, buddy. We call it the Joy Machine because to do this many shows, it has to be a machine.
First. He was on this much bigger...
But the thing is, if you choose to do it with joy, it doesn't hurt as much when your fingers get caught in the gears. And I cannot adequately explain to you what the people who work here have done for each other and how much we mean to each other. Yeah. So I will just say, I will just say to them, you are all the great Achilles whom we knew. Now, on night one of the Colbert Report, back in the day, I said, anyone can read the news to you. I promise to feel the news at you. And I realized pretty soon in this job that our job over here was different. We were here to feel the news with you. And I don't know about you, but I sure have felt it. And I just want to let all y'all know, in here and out there, how important you've been to what we have done. The energy that you've given us. We sincerely need that to have done the best possible show we could have for you for the last 11 years.
Up top, we got The View with less testosterone. This is Jimmy Fallon. Some things in life are worth fighting for, Frodo. Jimmy Fallon has stayed pretty much in the middle on things, and he hasn't gone crazy. He's been literally dogged for it mercilessly all the time. And for some reason, his ratings are pretty decent because he kind of just does comedy. Mr. President, your presidency, I love your presidency. I call the disgrace of the nation. You attract more skinheads than free Rogaine. You have more people marching against you than cancer. You talk like a sign language gorilla who got hit in the head. In fact, the only thing your mouth is good for is Putin's cock holster. I post that up even though we just listened to it because that's why he's getting canceled. It's too far. You just go too far. When we used to make fun of Ford falling, you made it a skit on SNL. Now it's just straight hate. Every cold opening, I'm going to fast forward. 13 shows. I might have laughed 3 times. I laughed 3 times each show for SNL UK. I thought it was actually really good. When they were dogging Starmer, it was funny.
So you now, sir, as I leave this, the CBS family, the Paramount Skydance family, you now are the only person in the corporation left in late night. Good luck. You are. There used to be more of us. Now it's you. It's chilling. On Monday, this coming Monday, you're going to be the only one in late night
really
for the
CBS
Paramount Skydance Corporation, and I am happy
losing in this country.
Here's the only saving grace that I think that I have is that I don't think Trump has cable. I really think.
So of course they're going to roll out Brian Seltzer. All right, Brian Seltzer's going to be brought out because he's the arbiter of media.
The Late Show was an American institution, one of only a
Letterman was there.
Of late-night television shows that stood the test of time. But times are very much changing, and now the Ed Sullivan Theater emptying out, Colbert's set being donated to a museum in Chicago. No new performance moving into that theater in Midtown Manhattan either. And CBS going a very different direction in late night, citing financial pressures. But it is, of course, the political backdrop that everyone's been talking about. President Trump railing against Colbert for years, CBS parent company Paramount trying to appease Trump in various ways for the past year.
Not appease Trump, appease American viewers, you dick.
He really struggled at first. He was on this much bigger stage, having moved over from Comedy Central. He didn't really know how to perform to the CBS audience. There was even talk about totally revamping the show, but then the 2016 election night was a turning point.
Yeah, of course it is. We're going to keep playing that, but we checked. There was not a single mention of Trump's name during Colbert's final episode. For the first time in years. If he had taken the approach a year ago, this wouldn't have been his final episode. He was canceled because Paramount bought CBS because the show was losing $40 million fucking dollars. Brian Seltzer was all over the place. We're going to play this one. Brian Seltzer, Morning Over Care Bear show coming in. It just made the world a little less bleak, and that's where what we're losing in the country. That's this soundbite.
his reaction to Trump's surprise victory, his appeals to the audience. You know, he became a voice of the Trump resistance, first during Trump's first term, now again in Trump 2.0. Politics became an inescapable part of the show, but The Late Show was about so much more than politics. And I think the viewers who are mourning the end of the show today, they're going to miss Colbert the human. You know, he was ministerial in nature, a comforting presence at the end of the night. And yes, he was an outspoken Trump critic, but he was so much more than that.
Yeah, I mean, look, you write that the monologues made sense of the news, but it also made you be able to laugh about things that maybe stress a lot of people out, and people appreciated being able to sort of laugh it out alongside with him, and sometimes he was laughing at himself. So a lot of people are going to miss him, certainly, just like they did
make
Letterman.
the world a little bit less bleak. That's right.
Yeah.
It's a really special format. That's right.
Yeah, okay, we're going to play this and push pause. Because CNN got to get on it. Some of the replies to this shit. If your hope for the country depends on a late night host debunking Republicans, you might be the one living in a bubble. A week from now, no one will even remember the show was on. If Colbert's show was so important for the country, how come so few watched it? Bridget Fedesi to Jimmy Kimmel. I am manifesting my late night job at CBS. I'll see you at 11:30, Jimmy. These people are so entitled. They think they should have shows that lose million, make movies that lose millions, write books no one reads. Colbert's job is to be funny. He lost his show because he allowed his anger to overshadow his humor. Bruce Springsteen, Streets of Minneapolis. Like you didn't know that was going to be there. These guys are all nauseating, self-indulgent dance clowns. I am so surprised Jimmy Fallon did it. I like Jimmy Fallon. This Fedesi lady said, fuck you, and made fun of everything. He was a fucking Karen. He's a Karen. Anybody could do his job and do it better if they were a comedian. You grab any comedian, he was just firebrand for the left.
Okay, joining us in the group chat, my friend Ari Shapiro, co-host on the new show Engagement Party.
First response on the comments, Colbert sign-off. You think Rob Schneider would do any better at drawing an audience? He's a goofball with some funny lines in movies. Colbert is a bitter man who's not funny anymore.
Which debuts today. Welcome to the chat.
It's great to be with you.
This feels like the perfect topic because, like, an engagement party, we're talking about what everyone is talking about, and late night shows are sort of last water cooler adjacent moments. Was this one?
Oh, the show itself was so moving. There was this little snow globe moment at the end that I think actually brought a lot of people to tears. Obviously, there are a lot of tributes right now to Stephen Colbert as a media force, as a comedian. I think in this moment, it's also nice to remember who he is as a person, because in this Hollywood world, in this late night world, where there are a lot of big and toxic personalities, the people who work with him, who I talked to when I interviewed Colbert a couple years ago, revere him. He has this reputation.
I can't do it anymore. Never covered this. Novak never covered his death. Nobody's covered his death. Nobody. We're going to cover it in a second. Nobody. AP didn't cover it. PBS didn't cover it. New York Times, NPR, Wall Street Journal, CNN. No late night. This lady, I hate to single her out, but I'm going to single her out. I don't know who the fuck she is, but she sums up the brainwashing that has taken over the left in general. All right. This right here sums it up beautifully. I've always had such a soft spot for Colbert. He brought so much joy over the years. He shared so many emotional speeches over the last year. He's been so brazenly honest about what's going on in the world and has fought so hard to be a voice for justice. I'm broken tonight. We love you, Stephen. He was an echo chamber for the far left, like the New York Times is, like WAPO is, like Kimmel is, like CNN, SNL's opening. Every night you're going to get your lefty thing, because if they don't do it, they're going to get in trouble. They couldn't cover Biden falling down every 5 seconds because they get in trouble. Call to activism. Wow, in one of the most emotional moments in television history, Stephen Colbert signed off his show last opening monologue by sharing that he realized his job was to field the news with us. What a class act. An extraordinary person. No, he's a piece of shit. He's a fucking piece of shit. He was a guy who played a role that was conservative. Then he played the fucking side guy. Then he played conservative. And then he played I hate everybody on the right. And the problem with that is it's been fucking 2015. 11 years going on 12. You bash Trump over and over. And even the lefties can't watch it anymore. It's just too much. You never stop. It's repeating and boring. We get it. You hate them. Fuck. Why not just do something funny? To libs. This Henry Novak thing really bothers me when you really look at it. Bled to death for wokeness. You stab with a sitar that's legal if you're a Muslim.
15-year-old Henry Nowak. Walking home at around 11 p.m, he encountered 23-year-old Vikram Digwa. Digwa whipped out an 8-inch Shastar knife. Digwa then viciously attacked Henry, aggressively pursuing him as he desperately tried to flee, leaving a literal trail of blood. Police were then called to the scene. They arrested Henry for being racist. Police were called to the scene but arrested Mr. Nowak after Digwa claimed he had been racially abused. They put Henry in handcuffs and he passed out and died a short time later. He literally drowned in his own blood after having his lung punctured by the knife. Vikram Digwa raises the defense of self-defense. He persisted that Henry perpetrated a drunken racist attack. That Henry wasn't drunk. He drunk less than the legal drink drive limit, and the incident was captured on Henry's phone. Shows no evidence of Henry saying anything racist. Being racist is treated as worse than being a literal murderer.
Yes, my friends. This stuff's it's fucking sad. Here's his sister put, the whole thing is, it's fucked up, man. The whole thing's fucked up. It's hard to actually grasp that this is our media. I mean, it's just hard to grasp. They haven't covered it. British media is not covering it. It is literally just buried, man. And why do I cover it so much? Because this is our country. This is going to happen to our country. We are 100% on the same path that they're doing over there because liberals are liberals are liberals. It doesn't fucking matter where you are, what you do. It's liberals are liberals are liberals. They literally just fucking can't help themselves. It's like the lady who didn't say a man attacked her and then he killed a motherfucker. That shit happened because liberals. You're not angry enough. The truth is almost too heavy to carry. The murder of Rana was not isolated, act and pattern, a repeating deliberate tolerant pattern, and the only reason her name reached you at all is because people like us refuse to let that disappear. Do not give the media machine a single ounce of credit. They did not report because they cared. They reported because we dragged them into it, reposting, speaking, and pressuring. Without that pressure, she would not be out there. And yet, even knowing all this, we'll say it plainly, you're not angry enough. Neither am I. None of us. We squirrel, we sigh, we mutter to ourselves in private, and then put the phone down. Where is the refusal, the absolute bone-deep refusal? And this person goes on because it's him. It's fucking so many people who have been killed. I could list it all fucking day long. We have a media problem that refuses to acknowledge that Islamists and illegals are a problem for any Western country because we can't fucking clear these fucking people. You can't vet people that don't exist. But instead, our media covers shit like this. We are unironically moments away from people legitimately declaring DoorDash is a human right. This is because they do not have time or capacity to create home-cooked meals. It's an issue countless people have tried to raise with leftists. Big leftists online continue to shame, abuse poor people for being forced to rely on services for meals, which acts as a tax on the poor. There's this, let me see if I can pull this up. Generations that spend money on food. So you go in here. Let me see if I can pop it on top of this. Boom, boom. That's pretty crazy. And it became a thing because Gen Z got all pissed off. And I hate to segue from a serious subject to a less serious subject because of this comment.
I can't stand it when I see kids that are making $70,000 a year spending $28 for lunch. I mean, that's just stupid. It's just, think about that in the context of that being put into an index and making 8 to 10% a year for the next 50 years.
I can respond to this better than anybody who did it down here in the comments. Let's just break this down pretty fucking simple. Me and my wife went grocery shopping yesterday. Total was $120. Coupon. We bought a chicken, manager special, 2 days left, cooked the way we like it, herb and garlic. $3.80. Manager special, expired 3 days, mashed potatoes, everything in it. And corn we had in the fridge. It was rough, we'll say $3 and $4. It was $7 and $1 for corn. $8, okay? That chicken will be reused for another meal. I bought 2 jars of Bertolli sauces on sale for $2 a piece on a digital download. I bought 2 bags of fucking noodles for $2 a piece, ziti and rigatone, and a $2 bag of Parmesan. We had 4 fucking meals off that. 4 meals. I had my penny vodka. She had her garlic and basil. 4 meals. Oh, and I got some manager special bread to go with it. So basically, for roughly $2, $4, $6, $8, $10, $12, we ate for $3 a meal. And I'm fat as fuck. So, shut up. Just shut the fuck up. You people live the way you live because you're lazy fucking assholes that don't want to get out there and do shit. Go out and learn to fucking cook. It's not that fucking hard. What is this one? All right. This is Seth Aberson. This is the only beginning. He has no plans to leave office or allow free elections, nor is his plans hidden. They're all unfolding in plain sight. The insurrection never ended, and the Christo-fascists won't stop until our democracy gone. Choose who you'll be in the moment. People's response, find a therapist. NPR, bloodbath brews because federal funding and nobody watches their shit. This shit I cover because it's stupid as fuck. Some Tennessee county charged a guy and held him in jail for 37 days for saying Charlie Cook's a piece of shit. I'm glad he's dead. You can't fucking do this. You can't fucking do it, righties. Then you're just like the lefties. Then you're fucking England. Don't do it. Just don't fucking do it. This lady, probably never heard her story. When I was 12 years old, I was brutally raped by a man, which put me in a coma for 5 days and destroyed my fertility. His lawyer accused me of seeking older men and laughed at me in the courtroom and saved my rapist from jail. His lawyer was Hillary Clinton, 1975. That's who she is. And it's worse. She's bad. This is worse. Francesca Hong, leading Democrat in the Wisconsin governor race. What is happening in Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota? What is wrong with you people? Call for abolishing the police again. This idiot already destroying Supergirl, saying Supergirl actress mocks critics say a lot of them are Christian dads. Her rise to lead role in DC Studios' upcoming Supergirl. But I mean, whose opinion do you really care about, Alcock says. If you're putting the right kind of people off, or pissing the right people, you were doing okay. The actors suggested that much of the hostility directed towards her comes from faceless social media users reacting emotionally online. And it's from a lot of people whose profiles have no photo, who are burner accounts, or someone's name and then dad of 4 Christian, which is hilarious to me. Yeah, I hope it fucking fails now. I thought I was going to give it a chance because I actually liked you. Now I don't. Oh, Minnesota daycare. 80 days later, they're charged. They're charged for fraud. 80 days later. Good job. Great job, DOJ. As we'll see, Cataboo got the fuck off because you drug your fucking feet on it. Let me find this. All right, this is not surprising at all, but it's still pretty amazing to see. September 2024, Ken Dillion criticized Republican for questioning the crime data put out by the Biden administration. The FBI doesn't make these numbers up, blah, 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 blah. The data was wrong. Biden ended up revising numbers right before the election to show that violent crime had gone up. Fast forward to 2026, and Dillion is on TV claiming the exact fucking opposite because he's a piece of fucking shit and has always been a piece of fucking shit. And somehow I lost the fucking file. So let's just fucking, we're going to do this. And then we're just going to zip through liberal shit.
The latest numbers
so
from the FBI, which come from...
And then we'll finish the shit. So here we go. Come on. Here he is. Listen to this shit.
The latest numbers from the FBI, which come from cities, by the way, the FBI doesn't make these numbers up, showed that violent crime overall declined by a rate of 3% in 2023. The Republicans and others are pushing the narrative that this data is wrong, that crime is somehow up when it's down. Violent crime has declined significantly over the last few years and appears to be continuing to decline. It's a good news story. It's too bad that not everybody is prepared to accept it. Sources are telling us there's no larger number of fugitives or arrestees being taken off the street. It's just simply a numbers game. It was remarkable to hear Kash Patel really lean into these stats, which our sources say are basically bogus. These stats do not reflect...
That's our media in a nutshell. Kat Abuz, she got off because the DOJ fucked up the whole case for obstructing justice, but she lost.
I started this campaign by saying that Democrats need to grow a spine. We're focused on meeting constituent needs with one simple rule. What if we didn't suck?
Goddamn, if I'm an op, I have really taken the most painful route for it.
I want this seat because I want to do what I'm good at, help others, fight Nazis, and go back home to hanging out with my cat.
Fight Nazis. So then we get some people actually covering it that she lost.
Just lost her election tonight in Illinois, falling to pro-Israel establishment Democrat Daniel Bliss. But the story behind the loss is bigger than a single race. A major factor, IPAC and other pro-Israel lobbies poured millions of dollars into the campaigns against her. Across just 4 races in Illinois happening right now, these groups have spent over $21 million in voters. That's millions of dollars trying to drown out the voice of a young progressive candidate. The system is broken. Imagine putting your heart, your time, and your energy into a campaign to fight for ordinary people, only to see outside money.
How do you propose the nation...
Those fucking Jews.
I can give you specifics.
Specifics.
So we need to, first off, abolish and prosecute ICE and DHS. And we return DHS's responsibilities to the Departments of Justice, State, of Treasury, of Transportation, all of these responsibilities that were taken from those departments, we return them there.
Yeah, this is the motherfucking slut bag that they were voting for.
So thank you for supporting us. I'm sorry that this sucks, but...
Let's watch Kat Abugazela, very far left Democrat, lose her election last night. We'll start this one off. This video posted March of 25. I'm Kat Abugazela, and I'm running for Congress. We'll play a little bit of this. Let's start.
Donald Trump and Elon Musk are dismantling our country piece by piece. And so
we'll take a look at some of this video. Kat Abugazela loses to Daniel Biss in Illinois House primary. It's Hassan Piker. I think the entirety of the video is election night itself. Again, we'll take a look at a few parts.
Hey everyone, I don't know if you heard, but we didn't win, and it really fucking sucks. We came really close.
Really fucking sucks.
Everyone is scared to fucking death of this administration, and even more angry. This is the first, truly federal House race I've seen in my life.
the reason that we were at the Broadview facility specifically is because it operates as a concentration camp. The conditions there
for the people kept
So
on
she's
neighbors
getting away with this.
Now on a high-profile court case stemming from this protest.
And this is her afterwards dancing, because yay.
I'm feeling pretty fucking good. Why do you feel better?
I'm feeling pretty fucking good. That's what she said. This is her
Kat,
first
you lost
post.
your race. How could you even say that this model could win races?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. We came in a very close second in a field of 15, beating out AIPAC and multiple established local politicians. And
I'm stopping it right there. Fuck the Jews. It's always fuck the Jews. Then the AOCs, this one's pretty funny. People online decided, are you going to pull up to the South? Come on down. Look at that shit, man. This shit cracked me the fuck up in Tennessee. There's ones over here where they're like, come on down.
Yeah, spend my dollar.
Yeah, come on down. Come on down. Come on down.
I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know how it's gonna go.
It's not
it could go either way.
Good for her.
It could go either way.
And then she said silo instead of salvo. And of course the media is not going to cover that, just like Cataboo. She was a whore of a fucking bartender. And we're supposed to listen to her on politics. Okay. Here's an HOA banning American flag. I'm going to leave that picture up. That's the left right there. That's who they vote. Triggering American flag. Fuck
I medicalized 17 years ago at an LGBT center. I'm a CSA survivor. Doctors told me that what was wrong with me and how I felt about my body was not from CSA. Even
that person, if you can find her, I don't know her name, detransitioner, she is treated like shit. This is Schakowsky. And why women don't go to manufacturing, because the word man's in it.
Yesterday, I met with a manufacturing company, but they also are engaged in getting young people more engaged in manufacturing. So I asked them, so how many of those students that are signing up and want to do this, how many are women? And they said, well, I know there's at least 13% or something. It was a low number. And you had mentioned trying to engage more women in manufacturing. I'm just wondering if just the name manufacturing.
Jesus fucking Christ. Wordsmiths. Here's a Texas dumbass, I think it's Democrat running in Texas, that MAGA is a danger to society.
When I say that I want billionaire Zionists in prison, that does not mean I want Jews in internment camps. So why am I getting a whole bunch of death threats?
Because you're an asshole. 19-year-old thug shoves an 84-year-old guy. He falls on his head and he dies. And this liberal fucking female judge let him off with probation because he acted good in court. This is Gillibrand. There's something wrong with Gillibrand. I don't know what's wrong with Gillibrand, but she's not the same.
You received $7 million in political contributions from the trial bar.
Honestly, this has nothing to do with members of Congress. This has to do with the fact.
Yes, it does. You're accusing him of using money for a trip, and what do? You fucking are doing it. Here are our future doctors. Please, God, no.
Turn me up! Turn me up! Oh, turn me up! Turn me up! Turn me up! Turn me! Oh!
This is an airplane. It started on the airplane, and it kept going off the airplane. Here's some dumbasses taking on Marines. Not smart. Wrong one. That's some restaurant. This is the Marine. Dude, why would you take on a Marine platoon? Get cracked. This lady doesn't like MAGA on a mailbox, so she decides to take it down and then tells the person to go fuck themselves.
you. Fuck you. You know they're raping children? ICE is raping children and you got that shit hanging up on your fucking house? You weird as fuck. Take that shit down.
North Carolina banned the pride flag, so they said, fuck it, we're going to do it anyway.
Where me and some other residents are painting the pride flag back on Town Hall. Like you all know, the pride flag is about visibility.
Pride flag's about initiation and indoctrination. This poor white guy got the fuck out. This wasn't national news, and 5 black guys came in and beat the fucking shit out of him saying Black Lives Matter, and it never made the news. Never made the news.
A 24-year-old man hit and kicked as he left a corner store in Klein. He was there on Sunday.
I definitely want him caught.
He and his girlfriend asked that we not identify them out of fear for their safety. Social media has not been kind.
I've gotten death threats.
They just want to be safe. When they approached, he just took the beating, 6 kicks to the head from 5 people in all.
He protected his wife.
After purchasing his goods and then came up to me, kicked me in the face and said Black Lives Matter.
The victim says they didn't even leave quick.
This is happening all over the country. Here's some more of those teen takeovers. There's another one in Chicago. Took over the whole fucking intersection. Here's a family. Their family member was robbing a fucking Dollar General, and he got unalived by the clerk, and the family's pissed saying, why was he carrying a gun? And they're saying that it was wrong, even though he was using a gun to rob.
Suspect dead, 1 person in custody, and another person on the run, according to police.
Happened about 10:30 this morning at the Dollar General on Winchester, just outside.
Why would you steal a Dollar General?
Fox 13's Walter Murphy has been there for hours. Walter, do we know who fired the shot?
No, we don't know who fired those shots just yet, but what we do know is that someone saw those suspects trying to rob the Dollar General, and they did fire shots.
Yeah, and the family's now fighting. This is how divided we become. Listen to this.
We're getting called pedos and Nazis, guys. We're just trying to unify Americans. You called us a Nazi? Hey, brother, we love you, man. God bless you, sir. We hope you have a great day.
Because of Christianity, and that's okay. Here is some C-list actress. Same thing.
I'm like, we're all these right-wing people. Is it the, 1% of people who are actually like hurting the other children in preschool who have a natural, predetermined sociopathy? Like, these people seem sociopathic.
They do.
I did not. I knew the name Riley Gaines, and like in the way that like I have.
So Riley Gaines is bad because she's fighting for women. Okay. Here is our media libtards. Here's fucking Houston. We need to fight Trump.
You want to lead by example and you want to be above the fray. That is not how this Republican, Trumplican party works. Mm-hmm. And we are feeling the result of not having a resistance, of valuable resistance.
You do really?
No, because it's boring. You guys keep saying the same thing over and over, and you're hypocritical pieces of shit that let the last guy do whatever the fuck he wanted.
So a lot to unpack in what has played out in Louisiana, but I thought an interesting place to start was that comment that we just heard from Senator Cassidy, because to some extent, that kind of commentary is what you would have wanted to see from Cassidy over the last couple of months, and certainly from the last couple of years.
Why do they always get excited from shit like this? Here are 2 losers.
Maybe the way that J.D. Vance got into Yale is because they were tired of just letting in white men from New York, from Choate, from all the elite schools, and they wanted an Appalachian white. That's how that man got into Yale. I promise you.
This is her trying to say how DEI is good.
They wanted to just get out of the New York, D.C. matrix, Massachusetts matrix, and let somebody into Harvard and Yale who came from a different place. He came from Florida. Baby, that's also affirmative action in DEI.
No, it's not. Shut the fuck up. Here's PBS showing why they're getting defunded.
The shooting at San Diego's Islamic Center has understandably sent shockwaves through the Muslim community here in the U.S. For more, we turn now to Edward Ahmed Mitchell, Deputy Director of the Council on American Islamic Relations. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
He's an Islamist. Here's Scarborough.
Tamika, this is just, again, it's just so extraordinarily outrageous. You have the president talking again about this $1 billion Marie Antoinette ballroom that It was perfectly.
It just cracks me up. Every time they do this shit, you can go back to Obama, which was 12 years ago, and he did the mall, he did the ballroom. You fucking people didn't care. This lady should not be on the air, and this piece of shit's the bus driver.
Okay, I just want to start with the video that Secretary of State Marco Rubio put out today in Spanish. It was a Spanish language message. What do you think? Who is the audience? What is he trying to achieve for this video? What did you make of it?
Well, Jen, as you remember, I negotiated the normalization of relations with Cuba, including with Raul Castro directly.
Bam! Stopping. No. A bus driver did the Iran deal. A bus driver did Cuba. How did it turn out? Iran got more in fucking enriched plutonium, and Cuba got more fucked up for Cubans. Here's MS Now saying they need to sue ICE and that ICE is going to steal the midterm. Are you implying that you let illegals vote?
Miles, I would argue the most important part of elections is that they're free and fair. Today, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche was pressed on why a DOJ election security task force was disbanded. Are you concerned about election security this year?
Yeah, deeply concerned.
How concerned are you? I'm not going to say are you. How concerned? On a 1 to 10.
He just answered you.
Off the charts concerned, because Donald Trump has already shown us this year his willingness in Fulton County, where Allie was just pointing to it on the board, his willingness to go in and seize ballots. This was the great fear that folks had in 2020. Donald Trump himself said in January that he...
I thought questioning elections and election outcomes and voting and mail-in and registers, that was insurrection-y. And we close on our lib media to go into Moss. Tell me this, why can't ABC report on America like this? Because this is them on Cuba.
Coming on the air for major developments at this hour in the rising tensions between the U.S. and Cuba. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche is set to hold a news conference in Miami just a short time from now. These are pictures coming in right now of the motorcade headed to this news conference in what will be considered a major escalation here between the U.S. and Cuba. The Justice Department has just unsealed an indictment charging former Cuban President Raul Castro with murder for his alleged role in the 1996 shootdown of two planes that were carrying humanitarian aid that resulted in people, including 3 Americans. Now 94 years old, Raul Castro, of course, is the brother of the late longtime President Fidel Castro, who ruled Cuba for nearly 50 years. The 4 volunteers who were killed were part of the humanitarian group Brothers to the Rescue. Now, the charges come after, ABC News has been committed to covering the Cuban people for a very long time.
Committed.
A decade ago, we took World News Tonight, the broadcast, to Cuba, anchoring in an historic broadcast from there. And I remember at the time when I was traveling through Havana and other places talking with the Cuban people, they were actually telling me at the time that many of them, and look at this is a culture frozen in time. The car, I heard the deputy FBI director say 3 decades of investigating this case, culminating with this indictment today. From a legal perspective, what's the rationale, the reasoning for bringing these charges now?
For our viewers across the country who are watching this, they may be a little confused because usually when an indictment is announced, it's announced at a news conference setting. Here you have all the symbolism you were talking about. You have a raucous crowd behind you, and that's because for the Cuban American community down there in South Florida and really all over this country, this has been 30 years in the making. This was something that happened to their community. It was Cuban Americans, some of who actually served in the Vietnam War, that were shot down by Cuban fighter jets, civilian aircraft that were trying to help people who were out at sea, struggling in rafts, throwing them down water and then notifying the Coast Guard, humanitarian missions completely, and yet they were blown out of the sky by missiles.
Our media's broke. To Hamas.
From Mike Johnson declaring that our rights do not derive from government. They come from you, our creator and heavenly Father. Is this him putting God over the Declaration of Independence?
And that's a perfect way to start Hamas. It's a perfect way. I'm just calling the section Hamas, Islamists. This is the BBC. And since I've ranted on this for weeks, BBC covered Afghan father selling their 5-year-old daughter into marriage and wrote a story defending the father and blaming the West. You can't make this up. BBC went to Afghanistan and found men selling their daughters for $3,200. The quote from the fathers are printed without follow-up questions. Was he responsible? How horrible is the culture? Not their problem. The BBC explained his hunger, desperation, like he's the selfish victim. This is the title they chose. Selling children to survive. Afghan fathers forced to make impossible choices. Not the girls, the fathers are the victim. One of these girls is Shaki. She's 5, and in 5 years she'll be handed to a man she doesn't know. The BBC calls the money paid for a martial gift, then moves on. Then comes the blame. The U.S. cut aid. The Western donors pulled back, and the previous government failed. The Taliban, the regime that banned girls from public life, gets 2 paragraphs, one of which is their own spokesperson defending themselves. To be fair, there's important journalism in this piece. It puts awareness on real crisis, but this is not neutrality. When you report child trafficking without judgment, you normalize it. When you blame the West and quote the Taliban unchallenged, you've already taken sides. And my friends, God damn. Did I not say The Handmaid's Tale? But nobody in our media will even touch this shit. New York Times promotes Israel haters as source to San Diego mosque. And then we get into the San Diego fucking shooting. Here we are. When a hero loves Hitler, inside San Diego mosque victims' socials. What are the socials? Friendly fire. One of these three deceased Muslims killed at terror-linked Islamic Center of San Diego praised Adolf Hitler for killing Jews. Amin Abdullah is being celebrated by the media and Muslims on social media. Father of 8 killed in San Diego. Do you understand why I did it, what I did? Faux show. That's what he typed. But yeah, that's a hero. An Islamist. In Europe, you can be a jihadist, the mastermind behind the November 13th attack that killed 130 civilians, and get to walk free just 10 years later. The Telegraph might be waking up. We were reminded once again this week that there are plenty of people in our country who despise us. We don't need more thoughts and prayers. We need a deportation. A lot of them. In the last fortnight alone, an Afghan gang mastermind by a asylum seeker was estimated to be behind the theft of 62,000 phones. A Nigerian migrant who raped a teenager after using human rights law to dodge deportation for a previous sexual motivated attack was jailed for 17 years. And 3 asylum seekers from Iran and Egypt living in the taxpayer-funded hotel were found guilty of raping a woman in Brighton Beach. Then on Wednesday, a Somali-born man is suspected of having attacked Jews in Golden Green. It followed the firebombing of an ambulance last month, an attack claimed by the Iranian-linked group Asham al-Yamin. After this latest assault, our people, we don't need hollow statements from former prime ministers who waved in deranged and dangerous people or warnings about turning inwards from others when our open borders have proven deadly. We need to stop allowing random people from cultures that hate us to flood into our country and stay here. God bless you, Telegram. But in America, 30 Democrats did something so jaw-dropping I had to read it again. While Iran raced toward a nuclear bomb, they went after Israel. Joaquin Castro sent a letter to Secretary of State Marco Rubio demanding the United States publicly expose Israel's nuclear capabilities. Not Iran's secrets, Israel's. And then you get into CARE. CARE is an Islamist organization. But in our country, well, Tlaib, Omar, all these motherfuckers are part of CARE. Meet Nora Shalash of Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay, Nora is yelling at a visibly Jewish man because she thinks he has anything to do with Israel. What's the purpose? What's the purpose of this? What's the purpose of this? Why are you accosting this man? I'm sorry, I don't want to get you on film. Is it because you're just an anti-Semite? Did I miss something? Have you wronged this woman in any way? Other than the fact that you're a Jew? I'm a Jew also. What are you going to do to me?
Fuck the Jew.
Fuck the Jew? Hey, wait, hold on, wait. Here's my chai, and here's my...
Say that. Alif ba ta tha jim ha kha ta dha ra. Say that.
Nora, is that your name? Because you're...
Nora.
Nora. You're a very sophisticated young lady. I'm glad you love Jews so much.
I love Jesus. And you all dishonor the Virgin Mary and call her a whore.
Nora,
you call her a whore, you...
Laura, I don't...
You call her a whore, you...
Nora, I don't like you in that way.
You are you pausing it and redoing it?
No, don't touch my... Hey, don't touch.
I'll touch whatever I want.
No, you won't. No, you won't. Because you will not.
Take me to prison.
Nora, you just assaulted me in my own lobby.
Go
for it. She's kicking me now.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you're kicking?
Yeah.
Come assault me, Nora. What do you think? You don't think the Jews are strong, Nora?
No, I think you're all fake.
We're all fake?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Nora. You messed with the wrong Jew today. You messed with the wrong Jew today, Nora. What am I? I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to act like a civilized human being, like I am. And I'm going to film you and show the world what an animal you are. Actually, you're not even an animal. Animals actually have purpose in their actions. You just are a hateful bigot. Huh? Who is this woman? What is she doing?
I don't even know.
Thank you.
This is insane.
I'm not leaving.
This is what Jews in New York City have to deal with in a place of business. It's my office, Nora. Okay?
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
She related to you?
No. No, she was physically.
In Arabic, she said, "I want ISIS to kill all of you."
Are a hateful bigot.
I want ISIS to kill all of you. And that's care in a nutshell. And she does not believe in Jesus. She's an Islamist. This is how they act. Inside Israel's high-tech campaign to kill or capture every October 7th attacker, get them all. Fucking kill them all. Send them off. Here's a story from one of them. IRG shot nurse Salih Akbari in front of her husband, Ahmad Kodi, and their 8-year-old daughter. They then took Ahmad away and tortured him for days. Later, they went to the morgue and sent him photos of Salih's violated body from her own phone, causing Ahmad to attempt suicide. But it didn't happen. Didn't happen. None of this stuff's ever big. This is Brooklyn. This is it's happening. Nobody wants to fucking cover it because why the fuck would we cover this? Why would we cover this? It's a Jewish man. I mean, every day I could just come in here and just, whoop, another one. That's your front door. You're Jewish. How is this okay? How is this okay? Why is this okay? Why do we allow this stuff? Why is this authorized? This is supposed to be America, and they always rant and rave about Christianity, but not Islamist. A photo that won the Pulitzer. The questions no one asked. A Pulitzer Prize just named New York Times photographer, Sorrel Algora, the winner in the breaking news photography category. The panel praised the distinguished photographs of spontaneous coverage. But we followed Algora for years, and his record has raised red flags. Photos on October 7 of rockets fired towards Israel captured as a response to settler attacks. References to the murdered Biba's children and Odez Litz as prisoners, not hostages. And pictures themselves were coordinated works of storytelling. Every one of his award-winning pictures looks something like this. It's a 2-year-old. It is straight up propaganda that Hamas themselves couldn't do as good as these fucking pieces of shit did. One of Sayer's award-winning photos shows a 2-year-old, Yabzi Abdul Afal, as the face of starvation crisis supposedly caused by Israel. Photos from the same day show other healthy children, with one caption even noticing that malnutrition is worsened by pre-existing conditions. But images that provide context include those of healthy family members were left out of the photo because it doesn't push what we need to say. The same mother and child repeatedly shot by multiple agencies in near identical poses that raises serious questions about staging, consent, and how this boy was turned into a famine poster child. Another award-winning image showed Hamas terrorist Khan Yunis carrying what is reportedly the body of an Israeli hostage. But how can a photographer gain access to such a moment without coordinating with Hamas? When the Honest Reporting posted these concerns on X, the New York Times fought back, claiming Al-Gore had documented hundreds of starving children in Gaza. Sahara Al-Gore has documented hundreds of starving children. Why haven't we seen the photos? If starvation was truly widespread, why are pictures always focused on a single child rather than showing broader impact? They've already been busted online showing kids with the little bread bowls. We played it on here. Little rice bowls, and they're laughing because it's made up. They're literally telling them what to do. Somebody filmed outside, it got out. And why is every image of a starving child one with undisclosed pre-existing health conditions? By honoring Sabur Agura, the Pulitzers aren't rewarding courageous war photographer. They're letting Hamas win. The truth about Hamas victims didn't. Now, Delia Lisbon reports on the Civil Commission on October 7 crime by Hamas against women and children. I'm going to cover all these till it keeps coming. October 7, 2023 has been etched on the collective minds of Israel ever since the unfolding horrors. Yet perhaps they have displaced for the rest of the world by the war that followed, both on the battlefield and the media. Now that after 2 years of painstaking investigation, experts on the Civil Commission on October 7th by Hamas against women and children have gathered evidence, and we've talked about it. Independent Israeli NGO identified at least 13 recurring patterns of abuse, include rape, sexual forces, blah, 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 blah. I think I've already covered all this, so we're not going to cover it again, but we're going to cover this. The pornography of accusation. This will never go down. If you are for freedom of press, this is a disservice to the world. Nicholas Kristof's New York Times essay on Palestine rape is not at the bottom of report abuse and detention. Its actual function is to turn Israel into objective revulsion, a state reimagined as an agent of rape, humiliation, body degradation, and bestial violation. Kristof frames the column as a plea for consistency, but the symmetry is false. The sexual atrocities of 7 October were documented with autopsy evidence, forensic data, survivor testimony, and perpetrators' own recordings. Many still respond with suspicion, denial, and demands for unchallenged proof. The dead were cross-examined before their blood was drying. Those who treated Israel testimony as suspect now treat accusations against Israel as morally self-authenticating. Anonymity has become understandable. Inconsistency has become evidence of trauma. Advocacy reports have become documentation. This is how politics of defilement work. Kristof's column depends on a consistent drift. Individual account become a pattern. The pattern becomes structure. The structure becomes a national indictment. By the end, readers are no longer asked to consider whether abuse occurred. Why isn't Israel in court? This is what came up. Your questions. They doubled down. Just probably a lengthy response to our questions about Kristof's column. They think they owned up to their mistakes. Quite the opposite. Here's just some of the ways the response by Kristof is disgusting. And yes, they doubled down on dog rape. Critics who focus on the backgrounds of specific sources often overlook the overwhelming volume and consistency of such accounts. Nick's column ultimately was a call to action, urging those in power to condemn sexual violence in all forms. How can you trust the sources? Don't they have access to grind against Israel? To report a sexual violence and detention is by nature to report people who are detained or prisoners. The Times doesn't rule out interviewing people who are considering them credible because they were in prison or detained. Times opinion also doesn't seem the personal account of sexual violence to be a credible or not based on his or her social media history. We assess credibility. Oh, really? How about Tom Cotton? How'd that work out? Same thing Biden does. You fire everybody, and Tom Cotton can have an op-ed, and there have been no op-eds. Christoph, once again, not so implicit, accuses his readers and critics of being rape-denying bigots. And yes, people sometimes lie about being raped. What I've seen is that societies are typically too slow to believe accusers, not too quick almost everywhere rape is underreported because of the shame. To call Euromed an advocacy group and boil down the concerns about a pro-October 7th statements by its chairman, Rabu Abu, is enormously dishonest. Euromed, an advocacy group, is quoted a number of times in this piece. Isn't it significantly biased against Israel? Yes. This goes on, and I ain't going to waste your time. You know it's the New York Times. It's how they roll. They are garbage. They will always be garbage. They cannot not be garbage. It's what they fucking do. And it would never be tolerated for anybody else. Here is literal video of a motherfucker admitting the rapes.
شو اسمك الرباعي؟ أحمد نايم أحمد أبوك لا منظمة أنت تابع؟ حماس طبعا نخبة دخلنا أول دار.
There was a woman in the first house. They took a woman out. They took out a girl about 15 or 16. We went back, they took out a girl about 15 or 16. Another one wearing a dress. She had a blue skirt and a white skirt. What was she wearing? Pink underwear and a pink bra? The young one was about 18, another one was 20. Who did you shoot there? I shot an old woman. What did you do to the young girl? Just to kill? I took her and threw her on the couch. I laid her down, started undressing her, and did what I did. What did you do? I slept with her. You did not sleep with her. Sleep is to sleep. So what did you do? I raped her.
They were sent with clear instructions to kidnap as many, to rape as many, to humiliate as many, to murder as many. They came here with a mission, and they succeeded in the mission.
How much evidence is there of the crimes of October 7th?
There's a lot of evidence. We have over 200,000 visuals that we've collected. We have over 2,000 testimonies that have been taken. Among these evidence, we have substantial evidence for sexual violence that took place on the 7th of October.
Huh. That's really weird because I thought they were all getting dog raped. Like dog raped. I thought that's what was happening. Here is actual what Hamas, these are Palestinian citizens. Let me pause this so make sure we can see this. The innocent Palestinians. There are no innocent Palestinians.
The perfect video of the innocent Gazans, and I'd like you to know that I saw a minimum of 3 children holding weapons. That's right. Not to mention the amount of children that are just standing around.
Mm-hmm. How about them, Gazans, claiming that clerics rape They're kids.
أنا لما بروح أصلي بالجامع بيوم رحت قبل العصر أنا كنت بقرأ قرآن له الشيخ وقرأنا قرآن ندين وقال لي تعال معي بدي أديك حلول هو ادانا
He took me to the mosque, restroom, undressed me, took off my pants, and had his way with me. I started to scream. And as a young child. Rape is part of their culture. I'm going to get to a point in a second because it's all over the fucking world right now. That's part of their fucking culture. This guy is in America.
As a Muslim, my response to all of this is
sermon.
Do your worst. I'm not afraid. Because even if this body is broken, the spirit inside of it, you cannot reach. And it will continue, and Allah will replace you. Whether I see that or not is irrelevant. But I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of the U.S. government. I am not afraid of the United States Army. I am not afraid of ICE.
Yeah, he should be. Here is a New York congressional candidate citing the Quran.
That Israel's genocide in Gaza is a desecration, is a violation of the understanding that everyone is created in God's image. Every one of those Palestinian kids in Gaza, just as divine as my beloved children. And so, yes, in Congress, I will not vote for any more U.S. military aid to Israel, not the bombs that are destroying the hospitals and schools in Gaza, not the occupation in Lebanon, which is now, I believe, unfortunately, on its way potentially to being.
I thought no church and state. This goes on. I'm not going to keep talking. Here's a guy proving that once again, Gazan doctors and journalists, they're terrorists too.
The mosque is off. Hamas and Islamic Jihad are finally admitting how many dead civilians were actually terrorists in costume. Dr. Fadi Al-Wadia worked for Doctors Without Borders. Oops! Islamic Jihad now says he was the deputy head of its weapons manufacturing unit.
Oh, no
Journalist
way!
Mahdi al-Mamluk is mourned by the Committee to Protect Journalists. Islamic Jihad just claimed him as deputy head of its communications unit. Nurse Mohammed Al-Kafana, head of Gaza's Nursing Association. Hamas Telegram.
It goes on for 2 more fucking minutes. But yeah, they're peaceful. And this is what's happening overseas, and this is why I cover it.
Sie sollen vergangenen Oktober eine 17-Jährige in Heinsberg vergewaltigt.
This is Heinsberg about a rape.
Refugee are on trial for.
They raped them, and they give them lighter sentences because they're afraid of Islam.
This is what happened when an American Jewish comedian went undercover at a pro-Palestine rally in Australia and pretended to be a queer for Palestine.
I'm a Jew about to go undercover at a free Palestine protest in Australia.
I'm not opposed to Hamas at all.
I don't condemn Hamas. I commend Hamas.
Yeah, you're queer for Palestine. I am a straight up dog. Almost like a kink to like Hamas.
Yeah, a little bit.
The spiky BDSM collar with the keffiyeh makes total sense.
I'm 13.
What made you want to bring your son to this anti-Semitic cause?
We are from Iran.
Would you be a freedom fighter? You're like the age of freedom.
Yeah, see? Here's what's happening in every country. This is, I think London. They're purposely trying to trip up bikers because they're pieces of shit. Here's another one. That's what they do in Poland to the illegals who fuck with them. Here's some assholes on the street.
Excuse, lads, would you mind sitting somewhere else and not on our monument? It's a war memorial.
Like, fuck off, we don't care.
This anti-racist feminist man was raped by a Somali immigrant, and now he was going to be deported back to Somalia. The rape victim felt incredible moral angst at the fact that his sodomizer was not going to be able to maximally flourish back in Mogadishu. Well, I'm here as your resident evolutionary scientist.
It's a disease. This is what they're doing overseas in Dutch. Asylum seeker flashed a throat-cutting gesture. Local Dutch people said, fuck you, and burned their shit down. And this is what it looks like on Egypt's border. This is Egypt's border with Palestine. Remember, we are told the Palestinian people are enslaved by the IDF that isn't even fucking there because they don't run it. The PLO does. We are told that they can't get food. They can't leave. They're just treated like it's the worst thing. It's a genocide. A genocide. Because New York Times reporters take pictures of little kids that are probably dying already and say it's a malnourishment. There are 7 fucking fences ringed around these goddamn fucking animals. 7 fences. If other Muslims are putting 7 fences around Palestine, what the fuck is that telling you? That's not MAGA. That's not Christians. That's not Jewish people. That's Muslims going, these motherfuckers are crazy.
حالي ليلى بواب خلولو بتفتح شامي ليلى يا رويليلو واني الليلة لبحت معي ليل الريح الشامي ليلى.
Look at that. That's Muslims. What Muslims did to Yazidis in Iraq was far worse than anything happened in Gaza. Elderly women were buried alive because they were too old to serve as sex slaves. Mothers were forced to eat their own babies. Young girls were locked in iron cages and burned to death. Yet, nobody talked about it. Canadian school cancels event with ISIS survivor Nadia Murad because her harrowing description, you guessed it, like the flag, could offend Muslims. Oh, that's just too bad. Get the fuck out of Canada. There's your fix. If you're offended, pack yo shit. If you think it's not coming for us, you're not reading the paper. Not the New York Times, not WAPO, not the LA Times, on USA Today. You just got to search for it online like I do. And every day we got fucking bullshit in this country from goddamn Islamists in blue and red Texas and Florida and everywhere. They are building empires, imposing Sharia, and they say the American justice system can suck a dick. We are going to end up like Europe if we don't get our heads out of our fucking asses. And that wraps up another episode of Flower Politic Podcast. Share with family friends. Go to Flower Politic with K on SoundCloud. If you got this on YouTube, you already know where you're at. Emails, fotpodcast@gmail.com. We're going to go with Wednesday, the 27th of May as our next podcast. Disconnect from all devices. Don't give the orgasm, be present for your family. And we'll see you Wednesday. Thanks for listening.